How's it going YouTube? It's Sean here, and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the New Balance 990V3 as part of the 990 version series. Today's video is sponsored by Hefalux. Hefalux is my favorite go-to sneaker insoles, and they sell eTPU insoles, which gives you the same feeling of Adidas Boost in your shoes. So through that link down below, be sure to check out their website, and you'll see they sell 4 different types of insoles. So depending on the type of thickness and type of cushioning that you want, there's basically an insole for everybody. So I usually throw on these insoles on shoes that don't have too much cushioning, for example, my Chuck Taylors or other retro style sneakers that don't have a lot of tech within them. And I've been a paying Hefalux customer for years now, and I definitely stand by their product. So be sure to use the code SEANGO at checkout to get 15% off your entire order, and be sure to tell them I sent you. So back to the shoes, this 990V3 is part of the New Balance 990 version series, which celebrates the upcoming 40th anniversary of the iconic 990V1. So 1982 was the initial release date of the 990V1, and so far this year, to celebrate the upcoming anniversary, New Balance has released a special edition version 1, a version 2, and now this one, version 3. So the style code for this shoe is M990VS3, and in some stores they already released back on September 10th, but I know other stores, for example SoulStop, they're going to be releasing theirs on October 1st. So the 990V3 initially released back in 2012, but lately in the past few months or so, there's been a bit of a resurgence with a ton of different New Balance collaborations on the shoe, for example with Kith, Bodega, and more recently Joe Fresh Goods. So it's no surprise to me that this shoe also sold out pretty quickly. So first things first, here's a quick look at the box, and unlike the V1 and the V2, which all came in their own distinct boxes, this one also comes in this unique box, which stays true to the OG look of the V3. So it's done in this red cardboard finish, we have the New Balance logo on the bottom right corner, and we have this Made logo on the top left. And just like the version 1 shoe that I reviewed a few months back, I'll link that video down below for those that haven't seen it. But inside the box, there's also this dust bag. It has that same very soft feel to it, almost like a terry cloth or like a microfiber material. And printed on the top, we have New Balance 990V series, along with this image of this clock tower, which is at the New Balance Lawrence, Massachusetts location. And on the bottom left corner, we have all the versions along with the years they originally released in. So diving into the details of this shoe, so on the toe box, you can see here that the base layer of this shoe, this is constructed out of this gray colored mesh. Right at the base of the toe box, we have this small hit of reflective 3M done in the silver finish, and overlaid on either side, we have this perforated dark gray colored nubuck. Surrounding the front end of the toe cap, we have this light gray colored suede, which feels like it's pretty good quality suede. Moving downwards, covering the mid panel of both sides of the shoe, we have a slightly darker shade of gray suede, and in comparison to the suede on the toe box, the suede on the side panels feels a lot more fuzzier, and they have much more of a buttery and soft feeling to it in hand. Stitched on top of this, we have your classic New Balance N logo, and it's done in this gray and white finish in reflective 3M. The top eyelets are done in this gray colored TPU, and then moving downwards, we have more of that mesh material, along with another overlay of that darker gray perforated nubuck. And stitched on the lateral side only, we have this red tab, which we've seen on the V1 and the V2 releases as well, except in this case, it states version 3. We have more of that hairy suede covering the bottom of the back heel, and stamped on the lateral side, we have 990 branding done in the silver finish. In the center of the heel, we have more of that perforated dark gray colored nubuck, and in the middle we have this red colored New Balance logo, along with this hit of reflective 3M at the top with Made in USA branding. Hugging the bottom of the back heel, we have this silver colored TPU heel clip, which gives you added structure and support for the back end of the shoe. Moving on to the laces, so these come with 4 different lace options. So the standard laces these come with is a flat white colored lace, but they also come with these extra gray laces along with these bright and bold red laces too. Underneath the laces we have your tongue, so the bottom half of the tongue is constructed out of mesh, and the top of the tongue is well padded and it's covered in this dark gray colored nylon. And in the middle we have New Balance USA branding done in this silver and red colored finish. Moving on to the insoles, these come with a very well padded foam insole. Again, we have that image that we saw earlier on the dust bag. This is the clock tower that can be seen at New Balance's Lawrence, Massachusetts location, and on the bottom it reads New Balance version series 990V3. So the upper of the 990V3 sits atop this midsole, which is constructed out of New Balance's Absorb technology. So this foam is left in this white colored finish on the forefoot, and on the back heel we have this darker gray colored wedge, which consists of New Balance's end cap technology. So end cap, for those that don't know, is a combination of 2 foams. We have a softer EVA foam in the middle, surrounded by a stiffer polyurethane rim, and this gives you a good balance between softness and support. and then turning the shoe over to the bottom. So here we have your classic 990 V3 outsole. So this is constructed out of a combination of black and gray colored rubber. We have these flex grooves on the forefoot, which gives you added flexibility. And in the middle, we have this carbon fiber shank plate to give you torsional rigidity and midfoot support. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this 990 V3. And for those wondering how these fit, so I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. So that means when I actually put my foot on a Brannick device, it actually measures as a size 10. And for New Balances, I typically wear between a 9.5 to a 10, depending on the model. So long story short, I'm usually a 9.5 in the 990 V3, but for some reason I felt like these ran a little bit more snug, but it wasn't to the point where I had to size up a half. So I'd say that if you have narrow, normal, or slightly wide feet and you like more of a snug fit, you can still definitely go a half size down. But if you have really wide feet, or if you just prefer more of a roomy fit, then I would recommend sticking true to size. So to give you guys a point of comparison, this pair I got in a 9.5. I also wear a 9.5 in other New Balance silhouettes like, for example, the 992, the 993, the 990 V4, V5, along with the 550. And in comparison, I stick true to size or size 10 in other silhouettes like the 997, the 1500, the 1530, and the 2002R. Moving on to the comfort of this shoe, so just like all the other 990 V3s, this pair is also very, very comfortable. To me, this is pretty much like the perfect sneaker that I prefer. It gives me that good balance between softness while giving me still enough support so I don't feel like the arches of my feet are hurting or anything like that, and I can wear these for many hours in a day without feeling any discomfort. So it really depends on your personal preference. If you like more of a softer, mushier sort of cushioning, then you might not love these as much as I do, but this is definitely a pair of shoes that I would highly recommend for comfort. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and craftsmanship, so overall this was a very solid release. I love the material quality on this shoe. This is a made in USA pair, and as expected, the suedes were very plush, very buttery, and I felt like the overall construction on this shoe was very, very top notch. So all in all, no complaints at all from that standpoint. With all that out of the way now, let's lace these up and I'll show you guys how these look on feet. So my overall thoughts about this shoe is that if you're a really big New Balance fan, chances are you probably already own a gray pair of 990 V3s. So honestly, the only main differences you're really seeing with this shoe are the red accents. So does that warrant this being a must cop? Not really, but it's hard for me to ever really say no to a great New Balance. And again, I love the comfort and the wearability of the V3, so this one was a definite cop for me. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this version series 990 V3. Of the ones that I've released so far, so the V1, the V2, and the V3, how do you rank this one compared to the other two? For me personally, this one so far is my favorite. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check me out on Twitter at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. You can also check out my podcast called the Channel 8 Podcast. So the video version is hosted right here on my YouTube channel, but if you're looking for just the audio only version to stream, you can check it out on most of your major podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple, and Podbean. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you for the continued love and support, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video.